going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, and I'm so excited to be able to bring you guys this final playlist that's going to be covering the Naruto Retsuden trilogy. And I have to say, a lot of you guys have been asking me when are we going to be getting to Naruto Retsuden. Some of you guys know about some of the insane stuff that happens in here, as well as some of the lore and the world building. So I have to say, I've been waiting to talk about this one too. Now, if you're new here to the channel and you stumble across this video by accident, I would advise you go to the homepage, scroll down to the Naruto novel section, in particular the Naruto novels that are in the Boruto era, and watch the videos for Kakashi Retsuden and Sasuke Retsuden, because those are part 1 and part 2 of these stories. Respectfully, watching videos in this series would be like watching the third movie in a trilogy and not understanding anything that's going on because you did not watch the first 2 installments, and I'm not going to be doing recaps. So I highly recommend you go to those videos. So with that being said, though, we got to get into this juicy stuff, and this novel directly picks up with some very amazing stuff, as well as one of the most boneheaded decisions anybody could try and do. So you guys all know the story. Remember how it was revealed that Kakuzu was given a mission by his village to assassinate Hashirama Senju, somebody who was strong enough to tame multiple Biju, keep them as house pets, and was regarded as being a goddess shinobi during his time. Hashirama was regarded as the strongest shinobi who was alive during that time period. As we all know, Kakuzu was made a rogue ninja because he failed that mission and he was going to be executed. I've done a whole video discussing that called Kakuzu's origin story. But the reason why that's so important is Naruto Retsuden starts off with somebody having the balls to try and assassinate Naruto Uzumaki. Now, I want you to sit there and think for a second. Like, Hashirama was strong. Naruto is Hokage. Hokage Naruto is a lot stronger than Hashirama. And the way that they were going to pay this guy is they were going to essentially take care of him and his next 3 generations of children if he was able to pull this off. Now, I know somebody's like, wait a second. Who in their right mind thinks that they're able to kill Naruto? Well, in a situation like this, everything's kind of lining up just perfectly for the guy. So Naruto is on a diplomatic mission in a faraway land, meeting with a feudal lord that formed a relationship with Kakashi towards the end of Kakashi's tenure as Hokage. That land has a growing economy. It's actually more prosperous than the Land of Fire. So Naruto's there just keeping up the peace talks, and you have a lot of people who want to see Naruto perform a Rasengan. And Naruto very suspiciously refuses to form a Rasengan. Now, you're probably thinking, well, it's just gathering chakra, compressing it, and he can just do an itty bitty Rasengan. Doesn't have to be super big. However, Naruto has a reputation as somebody who could destroy the entire planet if he cut loose fully. And it's very suspicious that Naruto does not use his Rasengan when requested, and he has his aides. They step in when Naruto starts to raise his hand and they say, hey, this can cause a national security issue. You don't need to perform this jutsu. And as a reminder, Naruto's chakra illness at this point has progressed quite far, to the point where molding chakra to do simple things is a bit of a task for Naruto. Sparring with his son gives him heart attack-like symptoms. So you can't let on that anything's wrong with the Hokage, but I want you guys to remember something that was a key theme in the Sasuke Retsuden novel as well as the Kakashi Retsuden novel, which is a ninja must always learn to see past deception. And there is deception going on right here. And as all this is going on, we have an individual who is lurking in the shadows, and he's been observing everything. He's picked up on the fact that something seems like it's wrong with Naruto, and he's got an insanely overpowered Kekkei Genkai. And I'm going to say this, when it comes to this Kekkei Genkai, the thing you have to kind of keep in mind is that the Naruto world is so vast, and as it was stated in Naruto's manga, there are so many Kekkei Genkai that you can't even keep track of them, because there are so many Kekkei Genkai that are popping up all over the ninja world. And as this world continues to expand, as we saw the Land of Silence be introduced in the Shikamaru Hiden novel, and as we saw the Land of Radaku, which is a land where the Sage of Six Paths once lived, as that was introduced in the Kakashi Retsuden novel and the Sasuke Retsuden novel, we now have this land of stairs that is on a different continent. And what I like about this is the fact that Naruto's reputation still precedes him. The people in this land, they know who Naruto is, and Naruto goes out of his way to continue to keep the peace up and try and put on a brave face and let people know that Konoha's always going to be there. And what I like is that Naruto's interacting with everybody, but that naive nature that Naruto has is being used against him. And what's so interesting about this chakra illness is the fact that now more than ever, Naruto has to rely on the people closest to him to help him with his day-to-day activities. You're really seeing what Sasuke truly means when he says that he's protecting the village from the shadows and supporting Naruto from the shadows. He's actually going out of his way to help Naruto during this time right here. And again, there's deception afoot. And it's not just in regards to the ninja waiting in the shadows that's trying to assassinate Naruto. So with the scene in the context finally being set, it's here I'm going to begin reading the scene from the light novel, and then I'm going to come back to you guys with my thoughts and analysis, and it's here I'm going to begin quoting. Hokage-sama, how was your visit to the land of stairs? A reporter asked. Waiting at the bottom of the staircase for the 7th Hokage were interviewers, surrounded and pointing a microphone at him. I was happy to experience the development of the land of stairs firsthand. I also accompanied the investigators dispatched by the previous Hokage to be able to get a feel for the land of stairs development like this. I'm so glad that I came, Naruto said. After Naruto gave his comment, a shrill voice rose with a please come again. We'll look for another opportunity one day, Naruto replied. As the Hokage answered, softly laughing, applause erupted from all over the crowd. The long-established hidden village leaders, everyone in the land of stairs aspiration. In particular, they had great confidence in the Hokage, the leader of the Hidden Leaf village. Over 10 years ago, this country, whose livelihood still depended on their blacksmith industry, received a grant for development assistance by the Land of Fire's Daimyo, Madoka Ikkyo, and the 6th Hokage. After passing laws for refining the natural gas underground, the country's total production per capita grew 3 times that of the Land of Fire, and aid was discontinued, though they'd never forget the support that they received in the poorer times. The more people that like you, the greater the influence that you have, the more enemies you inevitably have as well. At this time, the person who's been asked to assassinate Naruto Uzumaki was surely one of them. Looking at Naruto's profile as he continued with the media correspondence, Yunaru narrowed his sharp eyes. He was an assassination specialist shinobi, changing his appearance with the transformation jutsu as he approached Naruto. While the usual strategy of assassination is aiming at your target while they're alone, Yunaru often picked places that were conspicuous and visible to the public. Unexpected attacks in places with an unknown number of witnesses. What makes this possible is the use of shadow clones enclosing in a 4-man cell. With his Kekkei Genkai, Yunaru can store his accumulated memories when his clone disappears, not only with his original body, but the rest of the clones as well. It's a great advantage to have the ability to exchange information closely should there be any unexpected situations at the site of the assassination. His shadow clones, A, B, and C, all 3 of them placed and already aiming at the Hokage's life. On the other hand, only 3 escorts regarding the Hokage. The bounty presented was enormous. If one were to succeed in this job, you'd have enough to live comfortably for 3 generations. Yunaru looked at the crowd gathering at the foothill, taking a deep breath to release his nervousness. The life of the 7th Hokage for money, something much more than natural gas. One of Yunaru's clones, A, hid himself in thick leaves, aiming at the 7th Hokage from atop of a tree. A, gripped a small firearm in one hand, reciting and confirming his plan, a state-of-the-art photon gun issued by his employer, a weapon that emits a 400,000 watt high-power maximum laser to attack enemies from a distance. The intense heat from the laser instantly transmits from cell to cell. Even if it were to hit the top of your hair, your whole body would heat itself in a few minutes, causing you to burst from the inside out. He raised his face again, readjusting his grip. The questions from the media are pouring in rapid succession, without hesitation from the Lord 7th Hokage. A, checked his watch. It was decided that there'd be enough time to cover the area. Soon, the Hokage was to walk across the carpet made just for him, then head out to a boat seaplane. Plenty of chances. Aim there. In quote. So what I like right here is the fact that they understand if you're going to kill Naruto, you only get one shot at something like this. And between a photon gun that's shooting out lasers that move that fast, and a Kekkei Genkai that allows clones to share visuals and information and thoughts in real time with one another and not having to be destroyed and dispersed, but instead kind of like how the Six Paths of Pain share shared vision. You would think that this person has at least some opportunity to get Naruto. However, they miscalculate on quite a few things. So on one hand, the idea is right. If you can catch Naruto off guard when he's not paying attention, you can have him. Nobody in their right mind is going to sit there and say that Zetsu's stronger than Madara, but Madara let his guard down. Madara got defeated. If you go over to, say, Dragon Ball, you have a very similar thing where Goku is in his Super Saiyan Blue transformation. In the Revival of Frieza movie, he lets his guard down and a laser takes him out. In Dragon Ball Z, the same thing. He lets his guard down, a rock gets thrown at him by Krillin, and Goku ends up suffering damage because of that. So the idea that if Naruto gets hit with a laser, a photon laser, when he isn't paying attention, it's not too crazy of an idea. But like I said earlier, this is a situation where a ninja must always learn to see past deception, and there are quite a few miscalculations that have gone on here. One thing that is kind of funny is the guy's basically saying, if I can kill Naruto, I'll be taken care of for 3 generations. So you're thinking it's about to be one hell of a payday, but just as Kakuzu misunderestimated Hashirama, there's some real misunderestimation going on here. Another thing of note is that we're getting the opportunity to see further evolution in the fact that science is playing an even bigger role here. So lasers and photons, things of that nature, it isn't something that we haven't not seen in the universe before. You saw it in Naruto Shippuden movie 2 and in Naruto Shippuden movie 4, but you also saw Nagato with the laser gun. So anybody crying that we have lasers right now, you have not been paying attention. But I say that to say weaponizing lasers in this method, it's a sign of respect for Naruto in the sense that they're looking at Naruto and they're saying, hand-to-hand combat, it ain't gonna work. We need science in order to combat somebody like him, which goes back to the theme of Boruto, which is, can scientific advancements exist in this world of ninjas? And that's actually gonna be my question for you guys. So question number 1 is, can science and ninjutsu coexist in the Naruto world? And then question number 2, if you had to come up with a 3-step plan to destroy Naruto, what would that plan be? And no, you can't say you're gonna put poison in Naruto's ramen bowls. That's not gonna work. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.